Yes, children. Hello, how are you? Hope everything is going fine. You're staying at home, right? Okay. Today we'll start our topic tissues. It is a fundamental unit of life. In other words, what's a building block of an organism? Yeah, it is nothing but cell. Cell is the structural and functional unit of every organism. And do you know about the number of cells present in an organism? Yeah, there are organisms which are made up of single cell like amoeba. Amoeba is a unicellular organism. Its body is made up of a single cell and all the activities that are to be taken place inside the unicellular organisms are performed by that single cell. For example, respiration, digestion, locomotion and excretion. All functions are performed by this single cell. Do you think all the organisms are unicellular? No, there are multicellular organisms which are made up of more than one type of cell. These organisms have different type of set of cells to perform different functions. For example, in our body we have a set of cells that perform respiration, a set of cells that perform digestion. This specific type of cells which are specialized to perform a certain function are called as tissue. A tissue is a set of cells which is specific in its structure and function. There are various tissues. Since our body needs to perform, not only our body, all the multicellular organisms need to perform various functions. This design of having different tissues helps in division of labor so that each function be performed by a particular set of cells and there is no clash or disturbance. Take for example, our body has a type of tissue that is muscle tissue which helps in movement of body parts. This helps in movement of body by contraction and relaxation. That is the function of muscle tissue. Our body has another tissue like blood which helps in transport of substances like various substances, nutrients, not only hormones as well as water molecules, gases, all these are transported by blood tissue. That is the function of blood tissue. In this way, body is organized. See now, like many other organisms, plants are also multicellular. Now, do plants have tissues? Are they similar to animal tissues? Are they similar to human tissues? No, they are not similar. But definitely plants also have tissues. When we study about tissues, we study them under two headings. One is plant tissues, second one is animal tissues. First, let us study about plant tissues. As we know that plants are living organisms, they perform several functions like respiring, growing unlimitedly throughout the life, and they absorb the water from the soil for growth. And they have various parts that make up the plant body which are made up of various tissues. These tissues are made up of a group of similar looking cells, and plant tissues are classified into various types depending upon their structure and function. All the plant tissues based on their structure and function are primarily divided into two types. One is meristematic tissue and second one is permanent tissue. First, let us study about meristematic tissue. Meristematic tissue includes those tissues which are present in the plant which divide continuously. Their primary function is to divide continuously and help in growth of the plant parts. These plant parts are able to grow because of the presence of meristematic tissue which are continuously dividing tissues. These are present in various regions of plant body and help in the growth of the plants. Meristematic tissue. It is present in specific regions of the plant body which is continuously dividing. They are composed of actively dividing cells and responsible for production of cells. The capacity of division is restricted only in these areas of the plant body, and meristem is the only tissue which is active throughout the plant life. Remaining cells of the plant body do not divide at all. They have various other functions, but they do not divide. Division is the function that is done only by meristematic tissue in the plant body. Based on the location in the plant body, meristematic tissue is again divided into three types. Three types of meristems present in the plant body are apical meristem, and the second one is lateral meristem, and third type of meristem is intercalary meristem. Type of meristem which helps in growth of the plant body, which helps in the growth of roots. Type of meristem which helps in growth of the plant body, which helps in the growth of roots and shoots and their increase in length, is known as apical meristem. It is present in the tip regions of the plant body like shoot tip and root tip. It helps in the growth of length of the plant body, that is lengthwise growth of plant body is done by apical meristematic tissue present in the tip regions of root and shoot. Next, if this tissue is allowing in the growth of length of the plant, tissue helps in growth of diameter of the plant body. The growth of diameter of the plant body is done by second type of meristematic tissue, that is lateral meristem, which is present in the plant laterally. When you cut the transverse section of the plant and observe it, the lateral meristem is present laterally. The dark green portion of this TS transverse section is nothing but lateral meristem. If it divides, it increases the diameter of the plant body. In this way, plant body's diameter, that is thickness, increases because of the presence of lateral meristem. The third type of meristem which helps in the growth of branches, flowers, fruits in the plant body is nothing but intercalary meristems. Intercalary meristems helps in the growth of branches, leaves, fruits and flowers in the plant body, and these are present in the nodal regions of the plant body. Nodal region is the region where leaf arises or branch arises on the stem, and in the surface layers of internodal region, that is the region between two nodes also, this intercalary meristem can be seen. It helps in the growth of branches in the plant body. In case of a grass plant, each time a grazing animal eats away the grass plant, again regrowth takes place in the grass because of presence of intercalary meristems that are present in the grass. These are intercalary meristem is present in the regions of plant, that is in the internodal region. It is the region between two nodes, and it is also present in the nodal region and helps in the growth of branches. If you compare the three types of meristematic tissue and study, Apical meristem is present in the tip region of root and shoot and helps in growth of height of the plant body. And intercalary meristem is present in nodal and internodal region. It helps in growth of branches in the plant body. And third, lateral meristem is present laterally in the stem. It helps in the increase of diameter or thickness of the plant body. Now we know how the plant develops its roots, stem, branches, etc. But there are several other functions that are to be performed by a plant body other than growth, like formation of food material, storage of those food materials, absorption of nutrients and water from the soil, and getting the mechanical support. These functions of plant are performed by another set of tissue which is called as permanent tissue. Permanent tissue is nothing but the tissue that is formed from meristematic tissue which stop the capacity of dividing. When they are fully formed, they do not divide anymore and they perform different functions that are required by plant body. Based on the similarity of the cells that are present in the permanent tissue is again divided into two types. One is simple permanent tissue and the second one is complex permanent tissue. Based on the similarity of cells present in the tissue, simple permanent tissue is divided into three types. One, parenchyma, second one collenchyma, and the third one is sclerenchyma. Parenchyma cells in the cells. Their cell wall is very thin and the cells are present with intercellular spaces in them. They help the plant to perform photosynthesis, in storage of food material, and also help the aquatic plants to float. This tissue is composed of living cells that are present in the regions of root, stem, branches, and flowers. Parenchyma cells are all thin-walled and these cells are living cells. They are mainly involved in plants' metabolic activities like photosynthesis, storage of food material and hormone secretion, etc. Parenchyma tissue is divided into three types based on their structural aspects. The type of parenchyma which has chlorophyll in it and helps in performing photosynthesis is called as chlorenchyma. The type of parenchyma which has large air spaces and helps the aquatic plants to float is called as aerenchyma. And the third type of parenchyma which helps the plant to get mechanical supports in tender parts of plant is called as prosenchyma. The next type of simple permanent tissue is collenchyma. Collenchyma tissue is composed of elongated cells which do not have any intercellular spaces between them. These cells help in providing the plant mechanical support at the same time flexibility. The cell wall of collenchyma is not so thick that plant cannot bend and not so thin that plants fall off easily. That is, collenchyma provides mechanical strength as well as flexibility at the same time. These are present in the inner layers of stem, branches, etc. So you need to remember that collenchyma is a type of tissue which has which is composed of all living cells which are thick walled, and this type of tissue gives support to the plant. At the same time, it is flexible. Collenchyma is divided into three types based on the cell wall thickening. If the cell wall thickening is found in the angular regions of collenchyma cells, then it is called as angular collenchyma. If the secondary cell wall thickening is found in the tangential region of the cells, then it is called as lamellar collenchyma. If the entire intercellular space is filled with secondary cell wall thickening, then it is called as lacunar collenchyma. The third type of simple permanent tissue is sclerenchyma. It is composed of very thick cell walls and the cytoplasm is almost absent. Sclerenchyma cells have hardening agents in their cell wall and help in providing mechanical support to the plant. These are present in the regions of stem, branches, seeds of the fruits, etc. The sclerenchyma is divided into two types based on its structure. The elongated cells of sclerenchyma, which are having larger lumen, that is nothing but cytoplasm, is called as fiber. The other type of sclerenchyma is sclerid, which is having almost very less or no lumen and the cell wall is very thick. These cells are short but they are highly branched. That is about the simple permanent tissues. Now coming to the complex permanent tissues. They are composed of cells which are having different types of elements in them, which come together to perform a common function. Complex permanent tissue is divided into two types based on its function. First one is xylem. It is composed of tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers. Xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers are similar to those present in the simple permanent tissue. Only difference is that they are present in the xylem and help in performing food and providing mechanical support to the xylem. The function of xylem is to transport water and minerals from soil into the plant. Xylem tissue. The other two elements, tracheids and vessels, are different structurally. Tracheids are cells which are longer, thinner, and ends are tapering. That means it becomes cone shape at the end. And these are not having any wall perforation plate that is common between two tracheids, whereas vessels are the broader cells which are having cylindrical shape, and in these the cells are separated by having a perforation plate. Second type of complex permanent tissue is phloem, which is composed of sieve tubes, phloem fibers, companion cells and phloem parenchyma. Here also parenchyma and the fibers are similar to simple permanent tissue, parenchyma and fibers. Here the help in making the food and storing the food in the phloem, as well as the fibers help in providing mechanical support to the phloem tissue. The difference is seen in sieve cells and sieve tubes. The companion cells are always associated with sieve cells and they provide nutritional support to the sieve tubes. If you look at the structure of sieve tube and sieve cell, you can clearly understand that the sieve cells are a little thinner, longer, and do not have a common perforation plate, sieve plate that is present between two cells. In case of tubes are shorter, broader, and there are sieve plates that are present between two cells. Always the sieve tubes are associated with companion cells that provide nutritional support to the sieve tubes. The function of phloem is to transport the food material into entire plant body. So that is about the plant tissues classification. Now we have clearly understood that meristematic tissue has its major role in growth of the plant, that is plant growth lengthwise, breadthwise, or it grows branches, whereas permanent tissue performs all other major functions of the plant body like formation of food, storage of food, transport of. Today we have learned about different types of tissues that are present in the plant body. Next, in our next video we'll be learning about different types of tissue systems that are present in the plant body, followed by animal tissues. Okay children, thanks for watching.